Welcome to Teaching Truth. As part of our honeymoon cruise with Royal Caribbean in June 2006, Adrian and I visited Monaco. Monaco is known as the playground of the rich. Every car you see in Monaco will either be a Ferrari, a Porsche, or a Rolls-Royce. And as you walk along by the marina in Monaco, you see yachts for the super rich, yachts worth millions of pounds. Monaco, playground of the rich. And in an altogether different sense, Babylon, as described here in Revelation 18, was and will be the playground of the rich. And in our reflections today, we want to think about the deprivation that will come to commercial Babylon, this playground of the rich. Let's read of that deprivation in the form of three laments that we're going to look at in our reflections today from Revelation 18, verses 9 through to 20. Let's read God's word together. When the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxury see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her. Terrified at her torment, they will stand far off and cry, "Woe, woe, O great city, O Babylon, city of power! In 1 hour your doom has come." The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. Cargoes of gold, silver, precious stones and pearls, fine linen, purple silk and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron and marble, cargoes of cinnamon and spice, of incense, myrrh and frankincense, of wine and olive oil, of fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and carriages, and bodies and souls of men. They will say, "The fruit you longed for is gone from you. All your riches and splendor have vanished, never to be recovered." The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. They will weep and mourn and cry out, "Woe, woe, O great city! Dressed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. In 1 hour, such great wealth has been brought to ruin." Every sea captain and all who travel by ship, the sailors and all who earn their living from the sea will stand far off. When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, "Was there ever a city like this great city?" They will throw dust on their heads and with weeping and mourning cry out, "Woe, woe, O great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour she has been brought to ruin. Rejoice over her, O heaven. Rejoice, saints and apostles and prophets. God has judged her for the way she treated you." Babylon, the playground of the rich, brought to ruin. And we read here of three groups of people as we think about the deprivation today of this Babylon. Three groups of people who lament for commercial Babylon: kings, merchants, and sea captains. First of all, the lament of the kings. We read that they stand at a distance for fear of her torment. Why do they do that? Well, so great is the heat and smoke of Babylon burning that these kings, because of that, must stand at a distance. Now, some have gone even so far as to suggest that this may be an indication that nuclear weapons and it's not inconceivable that that could happen, are used in the judgment of these commercial centres. We don't know that. We only know what the Bible states for us. That great city of Babylon, that mighty city, and yet the kings are standing at a distance, a safe distance from it. What about the lament of the merchants, those who do trade? We have a list of all the different trades of gold and silver and linen and all sorts of things. And it would suggest that when you read these things, they are more luxuries than necessities. And therefore it's plain that this mourning is rooted in self-interest. Why? Because nobody is buying their merchandise any more. Nobody is interested in buying from them. Their great riches are coming to nothing. And it talks about the bodies and souls of men. The prophets of commercial Babylon have come through cruelly using others, taking advantage of others, selling the bodies and souls of men, slavery. But this idea has also wider applications, none less so than today's reality of human trafficking, of prostitution, and also of pornography. The bodies and souls of men and women being used in a way that is Babylon-like and not Christ-like. Living for the luxuries of commercial Babylon will be tormented, their eternal absence of those luxuries all the more. Ultimately, hell will be a place where there are no such luxuries. It will be a place of unfulfilled desire, the eternal absence of that which was enjoyed. You shall find them no more. What about the lament, finally, of the sea captains? Well, again, this little comment needs to be made on this, other than to notice that their sorrow at commercial Babylon's fall is selfish. They're sailing in, they're not able to do trade. What's happened to this great city, this great port city? They're throwing dust on their heads, they're crying out and weeping and wailing. What has happened here? This great city helped us become rich, but look what's happened in 1 hour. She's gone down the tube, she's been made desolate. The lament of the sea captains. And finally, verse 20, a little subtext there. Rejoice over her, O heaven, and you holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her. Rejoice over her. Does that mean that God's people, that we should rejoice when judgment comes? Well, yes, but we don't rejoice in the destruction in judgment, but rather we rejoice in the righteous resolution. We rejoice in the righteous resolution that God's judgment brings. These are sobering and serious verses, the laments that will come when commercial Babylon goes down the tubes and is destroyed in just 1 hour. Join me tomorrow in Teaching Truth for our final reflection as we think about the death of Babylon.